Wangari Maathai is this year's Nobel Peace Laureate. She believes this honor recognizes not just her, but the many extraordinary African women who provide leadership all over the world, even without official positions. As Maryland TV journalist Tori Silver noted at the dinner, Maathai founded the Green Belt movement in 1977. It's a remarkable program which has helped poor women earn money by planting trees, 30 million trees in Kenya alone. Maathai was the first woman in Eastern or Central Africa to receive a doctorate, and she is now Assistant Minister for the Environment, Natural Resources, and Wildlife. She believes in connections between sustainable development, resource allocation, women's rights, democracy, and peace.
Dr. Wangari Maathai.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, my sister. I want to very sincerely thank Women's E-News and all of you women for this great honor that you give us. And I say us deliberately because I accept this honor on behalf of all the women with whom we have worked for the last 30 years to plant those trees, to empower ourselves, to be able to rehabilitate our land and give hope to our children and our grandchildren. I want to recognize two women who are here tonight. One is Wangari Maathai, my daughter's, seated right here. And the other is Betty Getheji. I don't know where she is seated. Betty Getheji is my assistant. These two women very well represent the many women who have been toiling for many years in this work. I want to say that the message that I should give you is the message that the Norwegian Nobel Committee wanted to give to the world in the year 2004. And it was to urge us as a human species to rethink our concept of peace and security, to rethink our relationship with the earth and with the other species, and to appreciate that we need to manage these resources, the environment, both natural and man-made, sustainably, responsibly, accountably. That we need to share these resources equitably. That we can only do that if we nurture democratic space, a space where rights are respected, whether they are rights of women, children, minorities, and to nurture cultures of peace. And that can be nurtured if we learn to listen to each other, if we learn to dialogue with each other. This is the message that the Norwegian Nobel Committee wanted us to embrace as it decided for the very first time to look at the environment and to make a linkage between environment, democracy, and peace. And I want to say that in my efforts to try to explain that, I have been using a metaphor that some of you may have heard me describe, a metaphor of the three-legged African stool, with the three legs representing the three themes of environment, democracy, and peace, and the basin representing space, the basin where we sit, representing the space where we can feel secure, at peace, therefore productive, creative, and able to promote development. Until we learn that, until we learn to have those three themes unseparated, until we learn to share, to manage these resources, to share them equitably, to create that space and to nurture peace, it's very unlikely that we shall be able to live peacefully with each other and with the other species. It may humble us to appreciate that we need the other species, but they really don't need us. And with that appreciation, we will take care of them, nurture them, protect them, whether we understand them or not, because they are important for our own survival. And to remember that long after us will be other generations that will need them. A friend of mine told me tonight, tell the story of the hummingbird. Some of you have heard me tell the story of the hummingbird. And I want to tell that story very quickly because I shouldn't take too much time. Partly because all of us here are women who are doing a lot. We have refused to be overwhelmed by the problems we encounter. But there are many people out there who get overwhelmed. We want to encourage people not to be overwhelmed by the challenges we face. And very quickly, the story was told by a Professor Suji in Japan, actually. So I'm repeating Professor Suji's lovely story about this hummingbird, where in this forest there was a fire, a big fire broke out, and all the animals ran out. They felt threatened. They felt overwhelmed, except this little hummingbird. The hummingbird decided to put off the fire. So it ran to the nearest stream. It took a drop of water with its beak and came and put it on the fire. And it went back and came back, went to the stream, came back. And the other animals were mocking and laughing at the hummingbird and said, "What do you think you are doing? Aren't you overwhelmed? You can't do anything. This fire is too big for you." And the hummingbird, without stopping to work, it remained very committed to its mission, very persistent, and very patient. And it said, "I'm doing the best I can." And that's all we are called to do, the best we can. Thank you very much. In every table there is a tree. And you shall give at least one of you a tree to plant. I learned recently that we all need 10 trees to absorb the carbon dioxide we breathe out. So, every one of you, go make sure you have your 10 trees. Start tonight. Thank you.